Hey guys, it's Melanie Hinds, your fastest Iraqi dinar summary on the net. I couldn't waste this sunny day sitting in the warmest spot in my house when the sun is out. The dogs are in here with me, the puppy's in her other crate because she needed a nap. She ran around and played a lot. So anyways, this is your fastest Iraqi dinar summary on the net. I'm the only one who summarizes everybody's intel. So the first half is going to be my truth and facts right out from my military sources who are all Rangers. They all are keeping the peace over there. They're part of Iraq stability. They've been over there for years. They're continuing to be over there no matter what shifts. They are there protecting the security and stability, and they're always in harm's way. They're part of the team that tracked down the second tier. They captured the second tier ISIS leader. So we're really proud that we represent them, and they reached out to me a couple of years ago and have been giving me breaking news ever since. And recently, it seems as though they break news that nobody else is getting. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that is, but that's really actually the case. So we all know that a group of American businessmen representing 100 people, 60 companies are in Iraq right now, having talks, learning about the bevy of opportunities that they have that they can invest in Iraq. Soudani even passed laws to make their licensing even easier. And Soudani gave a summary today that it was $88 billion worth of licensing that happened. The value of the investment licenses in Iraq reaches $88 billion. So they are actively, aggressively encouraging American businesses to invest in Iraq. And the fact that even the chambers of commerce of the U.S. and Iraq are together, united, is really good news. There was a lot of other articles. I went over 16 articles very briefly. And the other one I wanted to highlight was obviously those businessmen. And then there was something else. Obviously, they're catching people. They're catching the second leader of ISIS because of these new systems. It's all around this system. Oh, I had it up. Oh, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, VP of Treasury. That's what it is. The VP of Treasury is there. The U.S. VP of Treasury is there at those meetings. And what did he say? The U.S. Treasury Department will play an active role in supporting Iraq's economic development. Remember, they just started saying Iraq's economy is stable. Usually they said secure and stable, but now they're saying the economy is stable. And we know there's a CBI article that only I revealed that they are about to launch something imminent. And I do not think it's just the CBDC. I think it's the revalued rate. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion based on my intel sources. Also in chat, this morning, Jack revealed that Soudani is on TV talking about the Kuwaiti value and that Iraq will be similar. Kuwait is valued at 330, he said on TV. So he's getting the people ready for a new rate similar to Kuwait's value. And I've heard there are laws and restrictions that when Iraq is revalued, that they have to stay within a certain sense of Kuwait's rate to make it equitable in that area. So, they would not, one would not be, getting much over on the other. They're different sized countries. They're different, you can't really compare Kuwait to Iraq other than where they are, their neighbors, right? So I think it's interesting that we could expect more than that. And that doesn't include the float up. Once it goes back, there's going to be a flurry of activity that's probably going to make it rise up, just like the stock market rose today when they suspended the tariffs. You see how the stocks went crazy? That's what happens when you put a currency back on the market that hasn't been on Forex for 20 years. It's going to rise up, and if you give your currency away too soon on a weekend when you haven't seen what the market does, when the banks are opened, you could lose value. So that's why I give you 3 steps. Look at the pinned comment, so you can take advantage and maybe enjoy the run up. But I would be happy with $1. I'd be happy with $3. I'm not really greedy about this. What are you? Do you feel like you would like more than $3? There's a big opportunity here to get more than that and more with the strategies that I share. Really the key would be in your hands, and I teach you how to fish, in other words. So this VP of Treasury to actively back Iraq's economic growth, that article is key. I went through all these articles in my live stream. If you want the details or you want to hear me read these articles, then you can watch that live stream. I did not do detailed timestamps because my husband's home and we had other things to do. But guys, I'm just here to bring you the summary so you can keep an eye on this. It hasn't happened yet. When it does, I will do a live stream that says the time is now with the sirens on either side. I've been doing the sirens, but I just haven't done the time is now live yet. So we'll be doing that. My husband knows no matter when it happens, I will be live telling you that it's live. So you're not going to miss it if you're part of so please subscribe, tap the bell, make sure the bell is tapped to all. So now we go to the summary of everybody else. Mark Z. via PDK. Yesterday on the banking side, we saw a lot of rates, population, and changing on nearly every currency we are looking at throughout the afternoon. This is a first. This is exciting. I agree. It's an exciting time. Militiamen said they're talking about launching the digital dinar. They are. They've talked about it. Alok talked about financing major projects. It becomes a lot cheaper from 1310 to finance projects or whatever their new effective exchange rate is. It's going to be a lot cheaper. They all know that. The whole world knows that. Claire says, she's referring the article, the president of the American Chamber of Commerce, the Treasury Department will play a key role. And that's the article I was just referring to. She points out that the Treasury Department will play a role in developing the Iraqi economy. The U.S. Treasury and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce represent the joint efforts of Iraq and America to develop the economy and to have a joint role between the U.S. Iraq today is better than it was decades ago, and we welcome any company that wants to work in Iraq and develop the Iraqi industry and the economy. So it's nice to see the U.S. Treasury being so aligned with Iraq. You didn't see that under the previous administration. So if you're in the Iraqi dinar, you should be happy how we're progressing under this new leadership. Frank 26 says the monetary reform education, the ASRAFLAC, that's how they're educating the systems. If you're going to change the currency, you've got a whole new breed of people over the last 20 years understanding money. They need to be in the digital system. So that education is called ASRAFLAC. ASRAFLAK. I think it's kind of funny. It's teaching them about the new coins, the lower notes, ATMs, the services they have at the banks now, and that they are international. They are teaching them about the things they've never told them before. None of this is at 1310. All of this is based on a new exchange rate. It's a process. Let it unfold. Let it walk its way through. I agree with you, Frank. We just are bystanders, and all my intel contacts are saying it's going to happen in country first. They're talking about it happening in country, and then international will follow. We don't know when. Nobody does. If anybody tells you they know the time or the rate, they're lying. Those are all rumors. It's all speculation just to get clicks. I don't do that. I just give you the breaking news and the summary. So Mountain Goat says, article, Iran-backed militias in Iraq are ready to disarm following Trump's threat. Yes, I did an article on that a couple days ago. It is really interesting to see they're ready to disarm. And Mountain Goat points it out and says, do you know how good this news really is? We have been waiting for this kind of news since these Iranian militia first entered Iraq in 2014 to fight ISIS. In today's news, we find that with this justice with Nouri al-Maliki is coming much sooner than most think. If this isn't a wow, wow, wow article, I don't know what is. And like I said, I profiled that article a couple days ago. But I'm glad they pulled it back again. That reminded me that I did go through this. Samson says, article, Vice President of the American Chamber of the Treasury Department will play a role in developing the economy. Again, that's based on the article I picked out to share in detail today. Mark Z rounds it out with saying, many do believe it will happen this week. If possible, it could happen this week. But based on the bond side, Mark's got contacts on the bond side. That's why I go to all these other intel sources and bring you the overall summary. Each one has a piece of it. Based on his contacts on the bond side, he says, if my bond contacts who had appointments last night got dollars, I would get excited. It would most likely happen on the weekend if that is the case. Bruce, he says, now let's talk about where we are in this timing. Exchanges probably would start on Thursday, so it looks very good from all sources. He's very excited about this week's agenda. It seems like everybody's excited about this week, but I want to know if you're excited. God told me to tell you, do a happiness, teach people how to be happy now for what they have, and that might help bring this in, because our prayers have power. We are co-creators with Christ. If you believe you can co-create with Christ, you can get what you focus on. Please comment down below. We need you as part of our family bringing this in. We initiated a fast in my community for about a year. The first 3 days of every month, we sacrificed, fasted, and prayed, and we've been seeing, that's been over the last year and a half, and now we intermittent fast whenever we choose to, and I fasted today until about 2 o'clock, and so I'm doing what I can. Would you please join us if you want to help us pull this in with our prayers? And guys, I'm live every morning at 9. Sometimes, depending on my husband's schedule, I go live in the evenings for a margarita and manifestations, and on some days I go live at 2 o'clock, just a free question and answer session. As long as you don't bring rumors, you have sincere questions about what this is, we can help you understand the value of this. But this is you talk to your advisors. I am not your financial advisor. I'm just somebody that does YouTube and summarizes this and have my own Intel contacts, but you have to decide what's right for you, knowing your own financial situation. I can't tell you what to do. But guys, I just love you all so much. I hope you appreciate this summary. If you appreciate this summary, please comment down below. If you want to join us on one of our Zooms where we talk bigger picture things, and we started a mastermind group It's the fourth level of my membership channel where we go live every Monday and we talk to individuals that can help us as this happens and after it happens, how to protect your wealth. So if you want to join this channel, please do. We have a lot to give you if you're invested in this or any of the other foreign currencies or cryptos associated with this global currency reset. We'd love to have you. God bless. I'll talk to you later. Bye.